Hey guys, so from the looks of this video, this is a story time about the time that I got locked up, y'all. It was like the summer of me going to ninth grade, which was maybe 2007, and I was maybe 14 at the time. So my sister told me, hey, what are you doing today? You should come ride with me. I'll teach you how to drive and we'll have so much fun. So I was like, cool, because at this point I think I'm grown and I'm like, all right, I need to learn how to drive. And if I drive, then she's gonna let me drive her car all the time. I could pull up at school, something like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. That's not how the story ended. So we went over her friend's house, and after about 15 minutes, I started to grow impatient. So I'm like, Joy, come on. Like, you tell me that we were coming over here just for a minute and that you were going to teach me how to drive, yada, yada, yada. So she's still talking. She's like, you just going to have to wait, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking right now, and you're interrupting me. So I was like, okay. All right. So I got them keys, and I was like, I will teach myself how to drive around this neighborhood. So y'all, I get in the car. What she had? She had I can't remember the kind of car she had, but it was a small car. And so I get out, turn it on, and I just felt the rush. Like, oh, I'm about to drive. I better be grown. Y'all can't be able to tell me nothing. So I started the car and I started to drive. So at first I was scared because the car, of course, is bigger than you, and it's like it's not as easy as it looks when you first drive. So I'm terrified and I'm rolling down the street. So I thought, hey, I get the hang of it. I literally just drive down the street and attempt to turn around. While I'm attempting to turn around, this guy in this Cadillac pulls up, and I just, I panicked, y'all. I panicked, and I just did like this. I just let go of the steering wheel with both my hands and just watch myself hit him and then run into the bush. So he gets out the car. He's like, what the is going? Are you serious? You're going to hit my car? Da, 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 and I'm just crying because I'm like, I'm going to jail because I'm 14. I can't get a citation because I'm not 16 yet. So I'm crying. I'm like, I'm so sorry, sir. You know, it barely dented the car, but it was a classic, and he was really, really pissed off. So he called the cops. The cops came, and the cop, he was like this, maybe about 50 years old, this 50-year-old black cop, and he's just looking at me like that. That's exactly how he was looking at me. And I was just crying. I'm like, sir, I'm so sorry. He was like, why do you have to be 14? Why do you have to be 14? Why couldn't you be 16? Because if you were 16, I could have just gave you a citation and, you know, I wouldn't have to do this. But because you're joyriding underage, I have to take you into custody. Yeah. My whole life just flashed before my eyes. I'm like, I'm a criminal. They're going to bury me under the jail. Like, it's funny now thinking about it. It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny then. I was crying. I got handcuffed and I'm like, oh, no, this is real. This is real life now. So after he handcuffs me, he puts me in the car. And I had called my sister and told her what happened. So she's pissed off because she's like, I can't believe you took my keys. You so stupid. How you gonna have a record? Da-da-da. You ain't gonna be able to go to college. Like, she was just, you know. At the time, I believed her, but she was really just trying to make me scared so I wouldn't do nothing stupid like that again. Yeah. So what I did was, I'm in the car. I was cried out, and I'm just like, how am I going to tell my mom? Like, my mom is going to kill me. Like, I just knew that it was either I was going to spend the rest of my life in jail or my life was going to end very soon. So the cop is like making fun of me, but I'm like so upset. So I'm just curving all his jokes. And he's just like, so you just let the wheel go. So you just thought Jesus was going to take the wheel for real. And I'm just like, this is not the time to joke. I mean, I didn't tell him that, of course, but I'm just like, oh my God, stop. So there's $1 in the back seat. I wasn't going to touch it, like, at all. I just noticed it when I had first got in the car. So he was like, there's $1 back there. And if you touch it, I'm going to add more charges to you. Because I leave that there for bait. You know how many people try to steal my dollar? You know how many people try to steal my dollar? Don't be that girl. Don't be that girl. And so I was like, I'm not touching it. Like, in order for me to get to it, like, I'm already handcuffed. So, in order for me to get to it, I would have literally had to, like, fall on my back and roll to the ground because it was behind the passenger seat. And I'm just like, you would notice if I was trying to take your funky little dollar. Like, come on, it's $1. So I get to the jet. So they put me in, I guess, like it was a little cell. And I'm just sitting there like, how could I do this? Like, how could I let this happen? Like, who raised me to be in jail? Like, no, no. I'm not the criminal. Like, I'm the good girl. So what am I doing here? So I'm contemplating life. Like, my life is over after this. I had just made the cheer team at my high school, and I was like, none of that. They're gonna bury me under this jail. So it was juvenile correction center, and I was just overreacting at the time. But I didn't know. I was 14 years old, so I was freaking out. So they put this girl in the cell with me. This girl was like 17. And she had got caught stealing from Walmart. So she is just telling me about her criminal past. And like, she's been in juvenile like 4 times. And she was like, they trying to try me as an adult. Like, she was literally the queen of stealing. Like, she told me all this stuff she used to steal before they got caught. Her and her friend. But she let her friend go. And she's the one who got arrested because her friend left. I'm just sitting here like, oh my God, this girl will not stop talking. I was in there for about 4 hours, so, waiting on my mom to come kill me. So I'm like, this girl is irritating my life. This hard, like, the little cot, I guess, the little bed, but it didn't have like a bedding on it. It was just like titanium or whatever. It was just hard and it was sticky, like syrup was on. And I'm just like, what the crap? This is sticky and uncomfortable. She won't shut up. It's getting dark. It was probably like 3:30, but I was over exaggerating. Like, oh my God, mom's gonna make me spend the night here. So I'm tripping. Maybe about 30 minutes after that, my mom comes and I'm just like, oh my God, like my heart is beating so fast because I'm just like, I can't even imagine what she's gonna say to me. So she like gets me out and they hand her a paper of what I gotta do to get it expunged or whatever. So I had to do like 30 community service hours, and I did it by helping out at my mom's friend's daycare she was running. Yeah, that car ride home, y'all. The silence. It was the fact that she didn't say anything to me. Like nothing. So I'm just like, there's no Christmas. I'm thinking in my head like, there's no Christmas this year. There's no birthday next year. I can never ask her for anything ever again in life. Like, she'll never buy me anything. So surprisingly, she takes me to the mall, and I didn't ask for nothing. I wasn't finna ask on it. So she's asking me like, at this time we had to wear standard school attire. So she's like, what do you want? What type of shoes you want, shirts. So she buys me these things, right? And then we go out to eat after that. So I'm just like, she's gonna murder me at home. She needs an alibi to commit this murder. So make it seem like, people, oh, well, I saw her and her daughter at the mall that day and everything looked fine. And then I just come up missing or something. That's exactly what I was thinking. That was my thought process at the time. So after, while we're eating, I'm just like, why haven't you said nothing to me? Like, what's my punishment? Like, what are you gonna do to me? Is there a gun at the house? Do you have a knife? Are you gonna blow me up? Are you gonna leave me somewhere stranded? Are you gonna lock me in a basement? Like, all this stuff is literally going through my head. And she just looks at me. And she was like, I don't even have the words for you right now. So I'm still trying to gather my thoughts. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I wanted a cell phone this Christmas. I'm definitely not going to get it. So we leave there and we are in the car, and she's just like, how could you be so careless? Like, I can't believe you. Your sister is so mad at you. You need to be worried about her trying to kill you. Da 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 da. And I'm just crying, like, Mom, I'm sorry. I will never do nothing like that again. I'm so sorry. Like, please don't put me out, Mama. Please don't send me to my daddy. I don't want to move to Oklahoma. Like, yeah, I was tripping. I was bugging. I was really bugging out. So I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get, put on punishment or anything. She was just like, your sister has done worse. I'm really upset with you. So I would advise you not to ask to do anything. But I'm not on punishment. I could watch TV, but I couldn't go out nowhere. But I mean, I wasn't really going nowhere. Like, my best friend at the time, like, we still could hang out. So that wasn't punishment to me. But she said the punishment was that she left me in there, which really was, because a couple hours in, I don't care, like, if it wasn't really jail, it was juvenile. A couple hours in there felt like forever, because that girl would not shut up about her stealing from Walmart. Like, girl, I don't care. I ain't trying to be in the business you in. I'm not a thief. I don't steal. So yeah, that concludes the story of the time that I went joyriding and I got locked up. Comment some of the craziest things that you've ever done below, and we'll definitely have a discussion about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah.
I want you to take a ride, hop in my Taurus.